I had a similar experience. I've told the story before, but it's been like 300 episodes, so I'll tell it again. I uh, I had a testicular torsion, and it started out like this. So I was in 10th grade, sitting in biology class, and the teacher was like, she was a real ballbuster. That just term came to my head, and she wasn't the sort to like let you go to the bathroom during class or whatever. And I think in that same class, someone asked if they could go to the nurse, and they got rejected. She just eyeballed him, determined that he wasn't sick enough, and that go back, take your
What a
seat.
bitch.
That's just how she was. Like, she didn't take any shit. She was kind of strict that way, and the students didn't like her. Someone actually put super glue in a contact lens once, but that's a whole other story. With me,
Whoa, that would suck.
Hey, you fucking blind someone. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, she was fucking their teacher as well. Anyway, I was sitting in class and I had pain in my one testicle, and I thought my jeans were too tight, which would happen as you're growing and stuff. The clothes don't fit well. And I'm just like adjusting and trying to fix it, and it's just getting worse, and I'm getting hot and I'm sweating, and I'm just like, it does. If I'm in pain, I've got one testicle in particular, and it's in pain, and I don't like it. So I eventually go to the teacher and I ask if I can go to the nurse, and I'm like standing mostly upright, but like a little posture incorrect, and I'm pale white and I'm sweating, just beads of sweat coming off of my face. And she presents me as like an example to the classroom. Now, Woody, he can go to the nurse because look at him. And I don't know if I'm happy about this or whatever, but I go to the nurse. Nurse is a woman, and I tell her like my balls hurt, like I'm in a lot of pain. I've never had this before. Like this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want to inspect me because I'm like a 15-year-old boy and she's a female nurse, and like whatever. So she calls a gym teacher over and says, check this guy out. Just like do the first inspection. And he kind of cradles me, and he's like, I don't know what's going on, but that's
I
not
teach
right.
gym. You
Yeah.
call me in from a kickball game.
I don't know what's going on, but that's not right, because one of my testicles was hard. I was going to say like a rock. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but way harder than a testicle should be. So they were actually kind of sensitive. They called an ambulance, and they had the ambulance like almost stashed a block or two away from the school so as not to draw attention. After all the periods changed, they snuck the ambulance in and they snuck me out so that it wasn't like a big story across school. Like no one knew like what the scoop was. And, I was grateful for that or the rest of my high school years. Like no one was like, Woody, why did you go to the hospital? And I have to like make up some broken arm that cured in a day, or I don't know. So, they raced me to the hospital, and I was in a lot of pain. And at this point I started like groaning and stuff like someone in pain might. And I remember the guy in the back was like, dude, like, this guy's not okay. Can you hit it? And he's like, we're already going like 80 and a 45. Like, I'm hitting it now. And I just remember that part of the conversation as we raced across the bridge to the hospital. I get in there, and my parents like instantly like zipped from wherever they were and met me in the hospital. And again, like I'm in there and I'm just like, I'm in pain, so I'm groaning and I'm moaning. And I since I was a kid, I was like, am I like exaggerating this? Like, should I be silently suffering? And at one point, my father was like, keep up the groaning. Like this whole place is treating you like customer number one here. And they were like any doctor, any nurse, anything. Like I was just like priority number one patient as they're dealing with this. And they wheeled me into, I think it was called nuclear medicine. I don't know if they changed it at this point, but they put some sort of dye in me and checked out my blood flow. And sure enough, it was testicular torsion, which means that normally your ball hangs in your scrotum and there's like a vas deferens that sort of feeds it whatever blood supply it needs. And my vas deferens... is it just semen? My bio might be off. I just wanted to say semen. He was kind of choked off. So one of them had spun way too much, and that was why it was in so much trouble.
Oh.
It's like the vein or artery or whatever wasn't supplying it anymore. And the other one was at risk of it. Like it had spun to some extent, but it was still working. So he unspun it in surgery, and he said they pinkened right up. And then he put a stitch in them so they can't spin anymore. And that was the solution. And I only mention it because well, maybe I'm not as out there as you, but I feel like it's a thing people should know about. Like, hey, you know, if your testicle hurts, like this could be happening to you. So, and by the way, I've gotten more than one letter from fans who were like, Woody, you saved my, you know, potential children. Like now I'm fertile because I was aware of this and I got it treated early. So it made a difference.
No, awareness is like, it's huge. You know, you talk about it. Like a lot of people are obviously embarrassed about it. They think something's weird down there. I mean, we're all like 50% of us are dudes. Like we should, if there's something wrong down there, go get
on
help.
this show. 99% of us are dudes.
Well, I mean, in the
I
world, whatever.
I follow.
For sure. No, yeah. So if you're watching this right now, go feel your nuts and see if there's an issue. If there's an issue, go seek some help. Could be nothing.
Check them out right after this.
I
Because
might
as G.I. Joe
have
says,
a little feel and enjoy it.